two people, same paycheck, same city. One's always broke, the other one's building wealth quietly. And note, it's not about discipline.
I want you to picture two apartments. Same city, same neighborhood, similar rent. The first apartment belongs to someone earning $95,000 a year. Walk inside, and you'll notice how full everything is. 75-inch TV on the wall, a leather couch that cost $4,000, kitchen counter covered in gadgets, most of them still in their original boxes, closets stuffed with clothes, some still have the tags on. There's a spare bedroom that hasn't been a bedroom in years. It's storage now. Boxes on boxes, things bought and forgotten. This person checks their bank account with a tight feeling in their chest. They're 2 missed paychecks away from a real problem. The second apartment belongs to someone earning $52,000 a year. Walk inside, and the first thing you notice is space. A normal couch, a reasonably sized TV, a kitchen with just the tools that actually get used, a closet with clothes that actually get worn. The spare bedroom is a bedroom. This person checks their bank account with calm, genuine calm. They have 18 months of expenses saved and invest 20% of every paycheck. Same neighborhood. The person earning almost half as much has nearly 10 times the financial security. Now, this is not a story about income. It's a story about something most people have never been taught: the hidden relationship between the stuff you own and the money you keep. See, the first person isn't bad with money in any obvious way. They don't gamble, they don't have expensive addictions. They just gradually built a lifestyle that needs every dollar they make just to keep running. The second person figured something out that changed everything. They learned that owning less doesn't mean living worse. It means living on purpose. And living on purpose creates financial breathing room that most high earners never experience. Today, I'm going to walk you through the money rules that separate people who always have money from people who never do, regardless of salary. These aren't about cutting back or living like a monk. They're about understanding that every single thing you own has costs you've probably never calculated. Before I give you the rules, let me give you the one concept that makes them all click. Everything you own costs money twice. The first cost is obvious. It's the price tag, the number on the receipt, the charge on your card. But there's a second cost that most people completely ignore, and it's often bigger than the first one. The second cost includes storage, maintenance, mental energy, and opportunity cost. Let me show you what I mean. That treadmill you bought, it takes up space in your home. Space costs money, roughly $30 to $50 per square foot per year in most cities. A treadmill takes about 20 square feet when you count the clearance space around it. That's $600 to $1,000 a year in invisible rent you're paying to store something that hangs clothes most days of the week. And I'm not done yet. The second cost also includes mental energy. Every item you own takes up a small piece of your attention. It needs to be cleaned, organized, maintained, insured, worried about, and eventually gotten rid of. Researchers have found that visual clutter actually increases cortisol, your stress hormone, and reduces your brain's ability to focus. Your stuff is literally stressing you out in ways you can't even feel consciously. Nope, still not over. The second cost also includes opportunity cost, too. Every dollar locked up in things is a dollar not invested. That $15,000 home gym setup, put that same money in an index fund, and in 15 years, it could be worth over $50,000. You didn't just buy a home gym. You bought a home gym instead of future financial freedom. When you add up all these hidden costs, many things you own cost more to keep than they cost to buy. The price tag is just the entry fee. The real cost never stops. Now that you understand this, Let me walk you through the rules. Rule number 1, calculate cost per use before you buy anything. Before you purchase something, estimate honestly how many times you'll actually use it. Then divide the total cost by that number. This gives you cost per use, the only honest way to measure whether something is worth your money. Here's how it works. A $200 jacket you wear twice, that's $100 per wear. A $400 jacket you wear 200 times, $2 per wear. The expensive jacket is actually the cheap one in every way that matters. This one calculation kills most impulse purchases immediately. That $300 kitchen gadget you'll use twice a year, $150 per use in the first year alone. That's an absurdly expensive way to do whatever that gadget does. But a $2,000 mattress used every single night for 10 years, 55 cents per use. Extraordinary value for something that affects your health and energy every single day. The math doesn't care about marketing, it doesn't care about how you felt in the store, it doesn't care about what your friends bought. It just shows you what actually makes sense versus what felt good in the moment. Rule number 2, the replacement test. Walk through your home right now, in your mind. Look at everything you own. Now, ask yourself one question about each item. If this thing disappeared today, would I spend my own money to buy it again? Be honest. Would you actually go out and buy another fondue set? Would you replace that bread maker that's been sitting in the cabinet collecting dust? Would you repurchase those clothes you haven't touched in 18 months? For most things, the honest answer is no, you wouldn't replace them. They're in your life through inertia, not intention. Impulse purchases, gifts you felt bad throwing away, leftovers from hobbies you moved past years ago. These items have negative value. They cost you space, mental energy, and maintenance and give you nothing back. Every hour you spend organizing around stuff you wouldn't even replace is an hour stolen from things that actually matter. Try it this week. Find 10 items you'd never replace if they vanished. Sell what has value, donate what someone else can use, throw away what serves nobody. The feeling afterwards is hard to describe, but you'll feel it immediately. Rooms feel bigger, decisions feel simpler, your brain feels lighter. Rule number 3, never upgrade out of boredom. There's a pattern I see over and over with people who earn good money but somehow have nothing to show for it. They replace things that work perfectly fine just because they're bored of them or because a newer version exists. Their TV works fine, but the new model has slightly better contrast. Their phone works fine, but the new release has a marginally improved camera. Their car runs perfectly, but the New Year's model has updated styling. These upgrades feel like improvements. They're actually wealth destruction disguised as progress. Think about phones alone. The average person replaces their phone every 2 to 3 years, usually while the old one works perfectly fine. Over 30 years, this one habit costs $30,000 to $50,000 in unnecessary spending. Now, apply that same pattern across every category where upgrade culture operates. Cars, furniture, electronics, appliances. The lifetime waste easily exceeds $200,000. The rule is simple. An item stays until it genuinely fails to do what you need it to do. Boredom is not failure. Wanting something new is not failure. The existence of a shinier version is not failure. Actual breakdown is failure. Everything else is marketing, convincing you to solve problems you don't have. Rule number 4, create friction for spending and make saving effortless. Here's something about human behavior that most people never think about. We follow the path of least resistance, always. If spending money is easy and saving is hard, you'll spend. If saving is easy and spending is hard, you'll save. It's not about willpower, it's about design. Spending friction looks like this. Remove your saved credit card numbers from every online store. Give yourself a mandatory 24-hour waiting period before any purchase that isn't a genuine necessity. Delete shopping apps from your phone. Unsubscribe from every promotional email. Don't walk into a store unless you already know exactly what you're buying. Saving ease looks like this. Set up automatic transfers to your investment account on payday before you even see the money. Keep small amounts in your checking account. Treat savings like a fixed bill, not an afterthought. Now, here's why this matters more than motivation or discipline. Willpower depletes throughout the day. By evening, when you're tired, stressed, or emotional, willpower is basically gone. That's when impulse purchases happen. But environment is constant. If the shopping app isn't on your phone, you can't impulse buy at 11 p.m. when you're scrolling in bed. Not because you're disciplined, because you removed the option. The 24-hour waiting rule alone eliminates roughly 70% of impulse purchases. Most desires for objects fade within a single day if you don't act on them immediately. Don't trust your willpower. Design a system that makes the right choice the easy choice. Rule number 5. Count what you own. This sounds obsessive until you actually do it. Pick a category. Count every item you own in that category. Write down the number. I promise you, the number will shock you. How many shirts do you own? Most people guess low, then discover they have 3 to 4 times what they estimated. How many kitchen gadgets? How many pairs of shoes? How many items in your junk drawer? How many books you're never going to read again? Here's the thing. The count itself changes your behavior. Once you know you own 47 shirts, buying another one feels different. You're not just adding a shirt, you're bringing your collection to 48. The absurdity becomes visible. Set a maximum for each category. Maybe 30 items of clothing total, maybe 15 books at any given time. One in, one out. Anything new coming in means something existing goes out. Without limits, stuff expands to fill whatever space is available. With limits, every addition becomes a conscious decision, and that friction alone dramatically reduces how much you accumulate. Rule number 6, rent or borrow before you buy. There's a pattern with almost everything people purchase. They use it a lot at first. Then the excitement fades, the enthusiasm drops, and the item quietly joins the growing collection of things they own but rarely touch. The fix is simple. Test before you commit. Want to get into camping? Rent the equipment for the first few trips. Want to try woodworking? Borrow tools, use a makerspace. Thinking about a kayak? Rent one several times before you even consider buying. This does 2 things. First, it reveals whether your excitement is real or temporary. A lot of interests die after the first few tries. Better to discover that while renting than after buying $1,000 in gear that'll sit in your garage forever. Second, it shows you exactly what you actually need. Beginners almost always buy too much or buy the wrong things. Renting lets you learn first. Then when you buy precisely what's necessary and nothing extra. Look around American garages and closets right now, and you'll find something I call museums of past enthusiasm. Ski equipment from the phase they thought they'd ski regularly, photography gear from when they imagined becoming serious photographers, music equipment from a band that played 2 shows. Don't build a museum of things you used to care about. Test your interests before you invest in them. Rule number 7, understand the lifestyle multiplier. Here's something that catches people off guard. Every major thing you own connects to other things you also need to own. A boat isn't just a boat. It's a trailer, a vehicle with a hitch, storage fees, maintenance supplies, safety equipment, special clothing. A single purchase triggers an entire cascade of supporting purchases. This is the lifestyle multiplier. Watch how it works with common things. A home gym needs special flooring, mirrors, ventilation, and probably renovations to make the space work. A swimming pool needs chemicals, cleaning equipment, covers, furniture around it, and landscaping to match. A motorcycle needs riding gear, storage, maintenance tools, and often a truck or trailer to get it to riding locations. The real price is never just the item itself. A $5,000 purchase might actually represent $8,000 or $12,000 when you count the full ecosystem around it. But here's the good news. The multiplier works in reverse. Get rid of one major thing and you eliminate an entire category of connected expenses. Sell the boat and suddenly there's no storage fees, no insurance, no registration, no maintenance, no towing costs. One decision removes a whole tree of costs. Rule number 8, define enough before you start earning more. This one traps high earners more than anyone else. They never decide what enough looks like, so they keep buying more without ever arriving at satisfied. Income goes up, lifestyle goes up. New lifestyle becomes normal, so they need another raise to feel like they're progressing. This cycle runs forever. People earning $300,000 feel just as financially stressed as people earning $80,000 because their expectations expanded right alongside their income. The fix is decide in advance what's enough. What kind of home is sufficient? What kind of car actually meets your needs? What level of comfort is genuinely satisfying? Then earn towards that target and stop moving the goalpost. Maybe a $350,000 home is enough, even if you could eventually afford $600,000. Maybe a $30,000 car is enough, even when your coworkers drive $70,000 vehicles. Defining enough creates a finish line. Without it, you're running an endless race where spending always outpaces earning. With it, every dollar above the line goes straight to building wealth. Someone who defined enough at $60,000 in annual spending and then earns $150,000, that $90,000 gap goes directly to financial freedom every single year. Meanwhile, someone earning the same amount but constantly redefining enough upward saves almost nothing. Rule number 9, measure wealth by what you can choose, not what you own. Most people measure wealth by accumulation, houses, cars, possessions, visible markers of success. But there's a better measurement, optionality. Can you leave a job that's destroying your mental health? Can you take 6 months off to handle a family emergency? Can you move to a new city for a relationship? Can you start a business without a guaranteed paycheck? Can you say no to things that pay well but compromise what you actually care about? These choices represent real wealth, and they're only available to people with margin between what they earn and what they spend. The person earning $200,000 but spending $195,000, almost zero options. They're chained to that paycheck. The person earning $80,000 but spending $45,000, extraordinary freedom. They can absorb shocks, take risks, make decisions based on what they want, not what they're forced into. Think about it this way. Every purchase isn't just exchanging money for a thing, it's trading optionality for possession. Every time you buy something, ask yourself, is this item worth giving up some of my ability to choose freely? Sometimes yes, a lot of times no. Rule number 10, don't purge once a year. Declutter in small cycles constantly. Here's what happens with most people who try to own less. They do a massive clean out, feel amazing for a few weeks, then slowly, gradually, without noticing, accumulate right back to where they started. Within 2 years, they're exactly where they were before the purge. The fix isn't a bigger purge, it's a smaller, more consistent system. Weekly, glance at what's come in. Monthly, evaluate one category. Every few months, look at the overall trend. Removing 3 items per week is easy, sustainable, barely noticeable. Removing 300 items once a year, overwhelming, exhausting, usually gets postponed indefinitely. The small, consistent approach also builds awareness. You start noticing patterns, which categories keep growing, which emotional states make you buy things, which marketing tactics work on you specifically. That awareness lets you prevent accumulation instead of just treating the symptoms after. Remember those 2 apartments from the beginning? The person in the second apartment, the one earning $52,000 with 18 months saved and 20% going to investments, they didn't get there through extreme sacrifice. They got there by understanding something the first person never learned. Every object has a cost beyond its price. Every upgrade has a trade-off beyond the receipt. And every dollar you don't lock into stuff becomes a dollar that builds something you can't put on a shelf, but can feel every single morning when you check your account with calm instead of fear. These 10 rules aren't complicated. None of them require a finance degree. None of them require a higher salary. None of them require giving up everything you enjoy. They just require being honest about the difference between what you want in the moment and what you actually need to live well. Start this week. 10 items you wouldn't replace, remove them. 24-hour rule on every non-essential purchase. Count 1 category. Small moves. That's all it takes.
Look, if even one of these rules made you think differently about your money, you'd probably like what I'm working on next. Hit subscribe and like the video. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.